All right. So tonight, as promised, and I think it's been like really anticipated too, we are looking at a neighborhood marketing strategy that is fitting in really with the current, well, some would call it a holiday, right? With Halloween. And we want to make sure that there is some sort of way for us to really stand out again. And that's a lot of it, what this group is about, is just to make sure you have neighborhood marketing strategies that are not screaming, I'm a realtor, you need to come buy and sell a house with me. Because who else feels like this is the worst way to market yourself? I'm not saying you shouldn't say you're an agent. I'm just saying it's not the right way to approach building a brand. Especially in a hyper-local market. So tonight's strategy, Halloween marketing inside your neighborhood. And now my assumption is you have a neighborhood of some sort. If you do not, I suggest you do get started on our geographic farming cheat sheet, which you can just get as a free download. So if you do need our geographic farming cheat sheet, let me know in the comments. I'll make sure I'll circle that back to you later. But we want to make sure that we are building our reputation inside of the neighborhood. And it's also going to help us build our pipeline, because the more people know us and know what we do for a living, the more people will end up doing business with us, right? So tonight we're going to talk about Halloween. Let's see. Real quick, if you want to know the one thing I recommend you do for any kind of neighborhood marketing, stay through the end. I do have it available for you at the end. It is the one thing that you need to look at for any neighborhood marketing strategy you utilize. Okay. So who wants to start building a Halloween event that you will become known for? Let me know. Give me like a me, or raise your hand. Who in here wants to start building a Halloween event? And I know I saw some comments saying like, hey, what about Christmas? Can we talk about Christmas? And I'm like, we will talk about Christmas all in due time, one event at a time. Right now, let's focus on Halloween. Who wants to build that Halloween event? And I'm assuming it's all of you guys, because clearly you're here, you're showing up, and you're putting in that time. Anna Maria is like, yes, for sure. Let's do it. Awesome. So give me about 20 minutes and I will show you how to create an amazing event that does not require you to go in massive debt by buying pumpkins. And why did I put that there? Honestly, guys, when I thought about Halloween first, it was just one of those, one of those things where I thought I have to have something with a pumpkin, right? Who else has been here where you're like, oh, I want to do something for Halloween. I should hand out like pumpkins. And all of a sudden you start looking at I looked at the cost of pumpkins in bulk. Okay, so the wholesale, I looked at that. I looked at mini pumpkins and I looked at them in bulk, and it was still pretty pricey. So it was just not very feasible for me to do it without going broke, because as much of a event this can be, this oftentimes is not an event that will generate business for you right now. It's a lot more pipeline building, getting your neighbors to know you. Okay, so have you wondered how you can market yourself and your services without sounding salesy, and especially on an event like Halloween, right? Like, you don't want to stand there like a zombie realtor or be like, buy a house with me. Like, you don't want to do that. Would be pretty funny, I guess. You want to do something different. You want to do something more impactful, and we're going to be talking about exactly that. So here's the biggest thing, what it comes down to tonight is community. Okay, so that's going to be a big piece of our puzzle we're going to talk about tonight. I want you to really consider, how are you presenting yourself there? I want you to be there. I want you to be a voice, be present, be active. Most importantly, be you. Don't fake it. Just be the person you are. Be happy. And most of all, be community. It's really simple if it's genuine, okay? And as much as I like, I love the community I'm in, that doesn't mean I'm the social butterfly that loves to be everywhere at once, okay? Like, I like to be the voice in my community. I like to be present. I like to be active. That doesn't mean I need to be in everybody's business, right? So by bettering your community, you are standing out from the crowd, and that is just a fact. This is where people start noticing, okay? What people don't notice is the just listed flyer, the just sold flyer, the, the sign in the yard. This is not what people notice. So in order for you to get on the radar of people, it is oftentimes based on bettering the community that they live in. So how we're going to do that, right? And that's what's going to come up next. So far, so good. Be the community leader that we're looking for. Be there for your community and be the voice. Really, really important before we get going on this. So let's talk about how to host a Halloween event. How can we host a Halloween event that makes us all those things, that makes us all those things community? And biggest question right now, are you struggling to come up with a safe event? Right now, the time we're talking about it, the time we're recording this, it's just numbers are going up everywhere. We're in the middle of, this whole crazy 2020 COVID year. We're seeing the numbers are going up, and it even puts more pressure on us thinking about what can we do, because we do not want to be a liability in our community, but we want to make sure we are there and we can be a safe, voice for all of our communities, old people, young people, anything in between, right? So how can we do this? And it really starts with your passion. Any neighborhood marketing activity you guys are doing, it needs to start with your passion. What do you love to do? Okay, look at your own self and just see, what is it that I'm loving to do? What is it that I just do for fun that doesn't feel like work? And that's where you're going to start building your community event on. Okay, so that's like the ground rules there. And I'm kind of curious, I think we'll get to that in a minute, like what your passion is. But I put just 4 things on here, randomly picked, right? Just anywhere. And I want you to really consider, how can you link your marketing to your passion? Because once you do that, like, you will find it is so easy to market in a fun way, and you don't feel like, like you're wasting money. You don't feel like you're doing enough. You feel like you're investing into yourself. You feel like you're investing money to grow your passion, to grow your business, and it's becoming a really, really phenomenal thing. Okay, so link it to your passion. Now, your passion. Let's talk about this, right? What is your passion? And here, for example, I picked, like I said, 4 random ones. And let's start with the guitar right there, or the ukulele. Oh my goodness. Good one today. So what if you are really, into music? What if you are just very passionate? You used to play in a garage band, right? Or you still enjoy playing. I've seen your, your garage bands, your driveway concerts pop up. So the question becomes, if it's just you, could that be a staple that you end up doing inside your community? Could this be something that you widen and just put a post up in your community and say, hey, I'm looking for other hobby musicians that are wanting to just jam together on Halloween in my driveway to make it a totally spectacular thing for our community to come to. If this is you are musically really inclined, this is what you love to do, then is there a way for you to combine that? And it might be your driveway concert that you give every single year for your neighbors. It might be something that they see you. And again, if you want to do it over the summer, every single Friday, from 5 to 7, you want to make this your thing that you become known for by just bringing music and cheer and laughter into your community, then that's based on your passion. And you're going to really, really, really enjoy doing it. And while you do it, you're just going to have to market it as like, hey, super excited. People will come check you out. People will see the involvement, see that you're putting this event together consistently. Okay. And that's the big part here. So what about painting? What if you love to paint, right? So now from our Halloween spooky music driveway concert, we're moving on to I love to paint, right? What can you do to combine one thing with the other? And it's really something like, think about little like art easels, right? I got 2 kids, so I'm really like into crafty stuff every now and then. But you know those like little like easels that you can get, and you can just, set up a little station where the kids can paint a pumpkin with like one of those cheap brushes. I mean, they're kids, they don't need, $3 brushes, just those cheap little brushes. It's like whatever brush they have, they can take with them. That little easel and the little canvas is not going to cost you a ton, but just having that set up and tell them, hey, we're going to have a, come color a pumpkin that you get to take home. Something that is there that involves your community, that involves, the little ones in the community, and then just have them take the paintbrush with, or, if you want to throw that out, then have them throw it out in a garbage can. So this way it's currently not being touched. If you want to get a big orange bottle of paint and squirt it in those little ketchup containers, so everybody has their own little separated thing. There's so many ways for you to have it safely at a distance. You can do it outside. You can have just like tables lined up, like one station. So it's like a lot of like space. And keep in mind, most people are walking, they are walking outside anyways. So just even in front of your house, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Now, what if you farm a neighborhood that you don't live in? I thought about that too a little bit, because sometimes the neighborhood you live in is not necessarily a profitable farm. And while, there's nothing wrong with it, it just makes it a little bit more complicated, not impossible. So if you're not sure what a profitable farm is, or if you have a profitable farm, again, it goes back to our geographic farming cheat sheet. So feel free, if you need it, drop it in the comment. I need the cheat sheet. If you have it already, go back and reference it through. But this way you can determine if it's a profitable farm, if it's something you can do there. And if you don't have a profitable farm at home, is there like a corner where you can, if you can set up like some sort of like little event, like a bigger parking lot? Is there like a friend that living in the neighborhood that you can just go to? There's a lot of ways to kind of figure it out, how to make it happen around that. Okay, so that's something if you're really into paint. Now, what if you're just really into the outdoor and you love fishing, right? There's things to probably come up with that too. I don't know if it's necessarily an event that you should do on Halloween when people are going trick or treating door to door, if this is a thing where you live. But what if you're really into fishing? Can you do something that is, fishing derby related? Like, can you host at a lake outdoors? So we're COVID safe right now, right? Can you host a fishing derby? And again, you probably don't have a ton of time right now to organize that, unless you are owning a giant lake that you can kind of just be like, hey, we can do it here, because you're going to have to jump through some hoops with the municipalities. But can you do a fishing derby? And then just, can you like do it around Halloween? Tell them, come dressed up in your costumes, so you can, enjoy your costumes once or twice. And biggest fish wins this, and, second biggest fish wins this, and third biggest fish wins this, and make it all in the theme of Halloween. There's a lot that you can do there that still combines what you love to do the most, right, with your marketing, because you have to get the word out on the event. And how do you do that? You will be marketing it a lot from your business. You will be marketing it a lot from your personal page. So just bringing it all together is really where that missing piece comes in. Okay, so let's brainstorm right here, right now. I'm not going to put you on the spot, but let me know in the comments, what's your hobby? What's your passion? And once we start seeing some of those, come in, and that can be anything. So just drop it in, and I'll look at it and see if we can come up with some ways for you to just combine your passion with your marketing, where it makes sense for you to like have an event that is 100% you, and it just makes it like a lot more fun. So Feel free to drop your hobby in the comments. Feel free to drop your passions. And I'll go through them later today, and then we're going to see if we can come up with something. Now, you may have noticed that I kind of skipped one of them, right? All right, we got some animals and dogs coming. I want to come back to you guys later. I want you to see one in action, and this will actually be the one that I am going to do in my neighborhood this year for the very first time. So I'm not quite sure yet how it all is going to turn out, but I am very interested to see how the response is going to be. So you're probably going to see me going live about it a little bit more. And I know there's a lot going on inside the group right now, but I want you to kind of be on the way with me and see what happens, right? I want you to see some of the marketing. So the one I skipped was the one with the camera. And no, I am not really into photography per se, but I love taking pictures, especially pictures that are related to my kids, related to, making memories, phenomenal holidays. Like, this is kind of like my thing. Like, it's just pictures is where I'm like, oh my gosh, I love pictures of my kids, right? So your business and your life, they don't have to be separated. And I put in here, unless you are in the mafia, in which case you should. But you do not have to separate what you do for a living with how you live your life. Unless you, of course, are taking a lot of drugs, which I hope you do not. But the point is that as long as you are, there, they can see that you have children. They can see that you have a dog. They can see that you are a cat person. There's nothing wrong with sharing something that is you with your market. Okay. So here's where I was really at. I had two options. I had the option to just make the excuse that I can't do anything on Halloween because I have my children, right? I'm like, I have children with me. It's Halloween. I'm going to go trick-or-treating, so I won't even be home. Or I could just decide, you know what? I'm just going to embrace my circumstances, and I'm going to come up with a solution, which is what I did. I decided I'm picture obsessed, right? Giving you a little hint right here. And because I love taking pictures of my children in their costume because I think it's so freaking cute, I decided I'm going to go and have my own little photo studio built up in my neighborhood. So I went ahead, I went on Amazon, and I started ordering a couple backdrops. And I get into, I'm going to tell you guys all about the cost in a minute and all of it, because clearly this is something that I literally just did, that came out of my own credit card. So I can tell you all about that. But I went ahead and I started ordering backdrops. And those are just a couple here. So if you look at it, Halloween-y backdrops is kind of what I decided to do. One of the big things that I personally enjoy is if I set up for an event, I like my assets that I'm purchasing to be reusable. I like them to be there for the long run. Eventually, I'm going to have to replace them just for wear and tear purposes, but I like them to be there for the long run. So a couple things I ordered were backdrops. I ended up ordering 4 different backdrops, and I ended up ordering those little clamps where you stick them on. And then I ordered, because it's going to be outdoors and Illinois tends to be a little windy, especially right now, I ordered those little U-shaped, they're actually trampoline stakes, to be honest with you. They pin down a trampoline, but they will work for my purposes. So I ordered those very cost affordably, okay? And then here's an example. I decided I'll put the pricing, on here. This one, I ordered a backdrop. It's right now actually on sale for like $10, right? That's it. $10 for a backdrop. And it comes with Prime free shipping. I'm not making any commercial for that thing, by the way, but it's not horribly expensive, right? It's not something that you have to oh my gosh, how much is going to cost me? Do I have to budget in thousands of dollars for this event? And it's no, you don't. It's A, tax deduction, and B, it can be accomplished on a budget. So then my next thing was, okay, now I have a backdrop. I got, clamps. I need to figure out some sort of support system that I'm going to put them on. So I started again, back to Amazon. All right, what do we got? And I started looking and I saw, okay, I ordered 4 backdrops. So now I'm looking at like 4 of those stand thingies. And I'm like, oh, they're kind of pricey. They're like $45, right? I'm like, I don't want to spend that because I don't know if it's going to be, received well. So I figured there's got to be a DIY option. So Google it is, DIY photo backdrop. I think I typed in and this wonderful thing came up, PVC piping. I'm like, oh, that looks easy enough, right? So I went to my local home center. I went to Menards and got 5-foot sections and then cut them into, size. Got a couple of those connection thingies. And right now, that pink thing is not mine. It was one I found on the internet. But I have the same one standing in my garage right now in white. So it works. And it cost me $12. So now that I had my backdrops, my clams, my stakes, and my thing, it's like all good. I'm all set. So now it's really becoming just a matter of promotion and setting it up, right? And then we're going to make sure that we'll kind of direct everybody through and they can have their child stand in front of the backdrop. I'll talk about a couple of things I had in mind with it in a minute, but they can just stand, have a cute little picture with a nice little backdrop in their kids, with their kids in a costume right there. It's socially distanced, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for a lot of people. So then the next thought was, well, while this is great, this is fun, let's see if we can just bring it into a whole new level of, of giving back. I think Halloween is kind of like the starting point of where people are like, okay, we are approaching, it's the season, right? It's the season of the holidays. It's the season of so many other things, especially right now where people are like really needing, I think, a lot of this holiday cheer. So what if I decided to, to kind of back it with a cause? And if for whatever reason, I think I'm going to just ask you guys right now, if you know of a amazing cause that you would love to see supported, drop it in the comments. I love to check out a couple different ones that are related to giving back. So, I thought about the Toys for Tots and the coat drives kind of thing. But think about any cause that, you say you should go and check out this. I would love some recommendations right now. But what if I can find a photographer inside my neighborhood that will donate his or her time to take some professional pictures, and they can be branded. I want that photographer to get some marketing recognition because they're donating their free time. So they can put their logo on there, make sure it's branded. What if they are coming to take professional pictures, of children and the backdrops, and then we're just going to house those in, a private group. And the only way you can get access to them, the professional ones, is for a small donation. Now, the donation can be $5, the donation can be $10, the donation can be whatever they really want. And then once they make that donation, we'll give them access to the professional pictures, right? With the better camera, the better resolution, the better pixels. And at the same time, they're also going to get recognition for helping us raise money for that cause. Again, this is based on, something that is still progressing. I did reach out. I have 3 photographers in my neighborhood, and all 3 of them are unavailable because either they were their kids, they're not in town, or they had something else going on. So, but from there, I did get the recommendation that why not reach out to a local college person that does photography there. So I think I want to go try that because I really would love to have that little aspect of professional photographer, take a picture, and you can get it for a cause that you support for a donation of as low as $5 for, 4 cute little pictures, for example. So this one was kind of the entire thought process behind it. Again, it's going to be year 1. So I'm really excited to see how this turns out. But did this make sense to you guys? Do you guys see where your passion is really what makes it an amazing and fun thing. I'm going to put my own kids in front of my backdrops. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to end up taking selfies with my backdrop that you guys get to enjoy in the group. But this way, it all is connecting really, really well together. So before I go any further, real quick, I do have a special invite for you as well. You probably have seen some of the posts in the group. So I want to take a moment and invite you to our free 5-day bootcamp challenge that is coming up, in which we are going to cover how to get leads on autopilot. Okay, so we're talking more leads, more clients, more business, which is really what we want to do. I know a ton of you guys are already signed up for the first challenge starting next Monday. So if you are still needing an invitation, just drop the comment bootcamp below, and we'll make sure I'll get you an invitation sent out. Totally free, totally fabulous. And we're going to go and cover a ton of ground that when it comes to lead magnets. What's a lead magnet? Why do you need one? So if you still need in, drop the comment. And then we're going to be talking about that. So my Halloween marketing event will be on actual Halloween. Yes. So I will be having the photo booth set up in front of my house on Halloween. So this way, you know, the neighbors can walk by and all the kids are in costumes. So I figured it would be a cute little thing for them to do. All right, we're going to get the bootcamp invitation sent out. Real quick, let me introduce myself for the ones that are new to the group. And then I also have that one thing I promised you guys to walk you through that any neighborhood marketing event will need. So real quick, my name is Janine Sasso. I am an active realtor and team leader. So I do what you guys do every single day. I run a 6-figure real estate business. I'm a hyperlocal marketing machine, the founder of the Hyperlocal Real Estate Agent. Welcome to the group. I built my busy mom of 2 little kids. So I do know that time constraints are no joke. So what's next? Take the information I just gave you and implement it with your style. Okay, make it you, make it what you are about, what you love to do. And here's my one thing that I do want to make sure that you are aware of. Anything that you do when it comes to neighborhood marketing, doing the events is great, right? Like I love doing any kind of events, but it's kind of related to the secret agent. Right? Yeah, you always hear, don't be the secret agent. And that's exactly what it is. So it is really, really important that you put yourself out there, make sure you are putting it on video, market it so people know what it is. A video will say more than 1,000 words. If I keep on saying, hey, this is what I want to do, I want to have photo backdrops in front of my house, probably I'm not going to have a ton of, feedback on that, a ton of support. But what if I just show them a video of like, you need to come down here to my house right now. We have 4 amazing backdrops set up for the kids, and we're just going to show them exactly that with a camera workaround. And that's what's going to drive the people. That's where they're going to start seeing, oh my gosh, I want that so much. It's going to be amazing. And it also is putting yourself in front of them. It's going to start building the trust with your community. It's going to make you known of who you are, what you stand for. And it's just going to develop a much deeper level of trust with your audience. Okay. So, but I don't want to just talk about it. Let me show you. And the basic video training, by the way, is one of the best tools I do recommend you consider doing with it. If you're brand new to video, it just will help you really, really a lot getting the right kind of video content out there. And you can check it out at www.bit.ly/video training real estate. But let me show you what I mean. Look at this image. This image alone is not saying much. It is writing and it spells out the word boy, right? If I ask you what you're feeling, how does this make you feel? What do you think about? It's not really saying a lot. But if I put it into action and I just show you the next image, most of you will probably right now behind your camera go, "Aw," because I just showed you a picture of a cute little newborn baby lying on a super soft blanket, and you get this entire feeling related behind it. You see the little baby, you see the baby has a name, engraved on his little hat. His name is Leo, and he's really, really cute. And it's just one of those things where those emotions are what we're tying to our videos, okay? And that's why your video is just a step up from anything you do to make sure that your audience sees you. They're going to get to know you. They're going to get to like you. They're going to get to trust you. And those are the 3 basics when it comes to the real estate. So right now, my video course is available for you guys to just access immediately. So it is $37 for you to get access right now. So if you do want this one, I do encourage you to go check it out. It has some amazing tips and tricks for video, and it is absolutely life-saving. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for coming to the group again. Again, the Hyperlocal Real Estate Agent Group on Facebook. Super excited you guys are here. And with that, I think we are done. So I'm going to go and look through some of the questions. I saw a couple of boot camps coming through. So I want to make sure that we're going to get those sent out. Yes, Adriana, you're in the Lead Magnet Challenge. It's going to be amazing. I'm super excited for that one. It's like the content is coming together. I finished the workbook today. So that workbook is awesome. Do you print out the pictures? So, right. So if the parents are taking their pictures, so Anna Maria is asking, do you print out pics, or do the parents take the pics with their cameras or phone? So what it is, if the parents do want to take the pictures on their phone, they can. If the professional photographer is going to take them, they are just going to be uploaded into a group, and then they can download it. They can print it themselves. So we're not going to do any printing. But yeah, so that's kind of like how this one is supposed to work. So again, it's year number 1. So we'll see how this one is going to work. I'll definitely will be reporting back on anything, how it works. But other than that, I'm going to go through some of the hobbies up top, and we're just going to brainstorm some things of how you can market yourself. And then from there, we're going to see you guys later this week in the group. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.